Go ahead, leave your stupid comment about how Mob Psycho's better just because the Scamboli video told you so. Yeah, how's it going, everybody? It's the Masked Cripple. 2 days ago, I went to jump up to block somebody's shot, and then when I went down, I landed straight on my ankle. So I don't even. Yeah, the usual drill: like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, right? One Punch Man. I don't think I really need to explain the premise of the story. It's one of the most iconic series in the last generation of anime, and the captivating thing about it, of course, is how can a series about a man who finishes everything in one punch be interesting? And then you watch it or read it, and then it turns out that it's a lot more than that. Obviously, the punchline, no pun intended, is the fact that he can finish everything like that. So it has sort of this anticlimactic sort of humor. Again, that's the idea of it. But as you continue to read the series more and more, it does a lot to take Saitama, the One Punch Man, right, out of the picture. And you get to focus on all of these other really cool and wacky heroes. My personal favorite being Zombie Man. He's just raw. And I had actually read the series over like a year and a half ago, but I hadn't been caught up since. And so I thought it'd be a good idea while I was laying in bed because of my crippled foot that I would just, you know what, let's read it. Let's catch up. Why not? And the chapters went by so fast. I read it all the way from the beginning again. And I can honestly say with confidence, this is probably the most fun I've had reading a manga in a very long time. I had been going through burnout for quite some time now with all of this, and just the motivation to just read and review more stories was dying with every video. And then I read One Punch Man, and I just kind of found that joy again to sort of talk about series, just for the sake of talking about them. And of course, we can't talk about One Punch Man without bringing up the amazing artwork. Yusuke Murata is an absolute legend, and just everything he draws has such an amazing satisfaction. There's like a satisfying feeling when you see one of his drawings, and I don't know what it is, especially when he draws other people's characters, because it feels like he's very faithful to their style whilst also having his own style. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Now, the big thing that was trending with the story recently was the confrontation of Saitama versus Garou. Garou, without a doubt, is my favorite character overall in the series. Out of the heroes, my favorite is Zombie Man, but out of all of them, it's Garou. I know, basic take. That's like everyone's favorite character. For a reason, though. The dude's an absolute menace. It's very simple, it's straightforward, but yet there's something incredibly compelling about the take of wanting to play the role as monster just because he sees the whole dynamic between good versus evil is unfair. And again, despite this being seen as a quote-unquote gag series, it does have moments of just overall amazing inspiration, right? It sort of plays a joke on the superhero tropes, right? But yet many times it can communicate an inspirational message that a lot of superhero comics at their best do. And I think One Punch Man as a series has a lot of what I'll call wait a minute moments, where you're reading something and you're just like, hold on, wait a minute. A quick example of that would be with Garou, as I think overall as a character I really liked him just because he was cool and he was the antagonistic force within the story that was presenting itself as a major threat, right? A character who was clearly being built up until he had a conflict with Saitama. But he had a quote where he said, "What the world needs isn't biased justice, it's impartial evil." I was like, oh, wait a minute. Badass quote, slightly edgy. Now we're talking. But it wouldn't be appropriate to talk about One Punch Man if I didn't talk about Saitama himself for a moment. I think maybe this time around versus the last time when I read One Punch Man, I felt a lot more invested into the story. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, just kind of going through burnout, just sort of this feeling of like nothing doesn't matter, right, wrong, you just like nothing really bothers you, nothing really sways you one way or the other, you're just kind of there. And seeing Saitama go through that, right, he like got what he wanted, he got the power he wanted, and now everything in life is extremely boring to him. That, I like reading that now versus reading it a year and a half ago and originally watching the anime a few years ago, it resonated a little more this time around. And I think there is a very interesting concept with that as a character, right? It's sort of like the whole immortality thing. It's like, okay, yeah, you live forever, but everyone else around you dies. Then what's the purpose in living if there's no longer joy in life? But yet seeing Saitama push through and continue to be the hero and having all these amazing, fun, comedic, wholesome moments with other characters, I think King and Genos would be the obvious ones, right? It's really a big morale booster reading One Punch Man. So yeah, this would be a story I'd recommend to anyone, but especially someone who's just trying to find something to sort of cheer up their mood a bit. And if you're looking to read to do that, then One Punch Man would instantly be my recommendation. Now, on the side topic of whether Saitama could be Goku, go ask Set the Programmer. Leave me out of that cesspool of a power scaling community y'all have. I'm not trying to get doxxed all because I think that the man with blue glowing hair beats the bald man up, okay? That's not what I'm up. Y'all are a different breed. Y'all and then the community that'll give a manga like a 6.283 because they didn't cover the philosophy of cock and ballinisms. Like, I don't know. Y'all are... Anyways, Saitama versus Garou was an amazing fight. Loved every bit of it. It's what the entire series had been building up to at this point. And I am aware that the webcomic was slightly different from the manga regarding the fight. Like, some things were changed. In fact, if I had read the webcomic, I'd probably know whether the series is continuing or not. But like I said, y'all can let me know. And the fight overall was just so much fun to read. Again, you finally got an opponent who could finally take more than one punch from Saitama, a serious one at least. And I think it's one of those things where One Punch Man overall is a series throughout, even though it is a gag series, quote unquote, if you will. I think it does kind of deal with the idea of what being a hero is about really, really well, and it slides that in between all of its humor. But this fight overall, even though I think it was sort of the big payoff regarding that message, if you will, for me, again, this was just a fight I had a huge amount of fun reading, and I can't wait to see it be animated if it's animated well. I said the same thing about Record of Ragnarok, and I don't know if there's any series I've talked about that's gotten an anime adaptation and has gotten a good one. Hopefully that changes with Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise. I feel like this video and the ones that are going to be coming out after this is just me making up for all the series I've recommended that are sort of like, here's some stuff that'll completely ruin your mood for like a week. Seriously though, One Punch Man, I was really, really happy just reading it. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. How good of a series I think it is, where the hell it ranks in my whatever. Those videos are just reviews anyways. It's a pretty straightforward read. It goes by very quickly. It's full of comedy, action, fun characters. It's just a lot of fun. To be completely irrelevant, what I think about it or what anyone thinks about it, matters that you read it for yourself, you have your own opinions about it, and that at the end of the day, you enjoy it. That's really what it's all about. What's the point in reading any of this stuff if you don't enjoy it, right? As always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and not only let me know your thoughts on the series, but let me know who your favorite character is in One Punch Man as well. This has been The Masked Man. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.